We are going to continue with the object of the last class about cell structure, cell organelles, and their function. Have you ever thought, what are you made of?
Yes.
What are you made of, Juan Luis?
Cells.
Cells, of course. We are all made of cells. Cells are the basic unit of life. And Schwann established the cell theory that states that all organisms, all living things are made of one or more cells. That all cells carry out activities. It means that every cell has its own metabolism, and that each new cells come from another by cell division. Here are an example of an animal cell and a plant cell. We are going to see the difference between both of them. Well, there are three main components of all animal and plant cells. Let's think like if a cell was, it's a 45 city. Yes? 45. See? A city that has a fortress. Yes? We can think that the plasma membrane or cell membrane is a fortress. The one that allows or prohibits the entrance of substances. Cell membrane is a phospholipid bilayer, and it is made also with proteins that are in the outer surface of the cell membrane or in the inner surface. Also, there are some proteins that are embedded in the bilayer. They are used as channels for transporting things from one side to another. Is it clear for you?
Yes.
Okay. Here's another organelle that is common in most of the cells, the cytoplasm. The cytoplasm makes up most of the body of a cell. It is contained between the cell membrane and the nucleus of the cell.
That's a cell.
That's a cell. And the cytoplasm is like the body of the cell. Yes? It is, sorry, Juan.
What is the nucleus?
Let me continue with
Okay.
explanation.
Okay.
Yes? The cytoplasm is a jelly-like substance that is mainly water, but it has iron, salts, proteins, glucose, and some of the things the cell uses on its own metabolism. And the last organelle that is common to all the cells is the nucleus. It's the largest organelle of the cell. It is round, and when you see a micrography, you see that the nucleus dies in dark. It is the darkest spot on the cell in a micrograph. Well, the nucleus is, we may consider it as a control center of the cell, because the nucleus decides when the cell is going to divide. The nucleus controls all the metabolism of the cell. It also contains the DNA in little strands named chromosomes. You know what chromosomes are for?
No.
To define some characteristics of us.
All of your characteristics. The inheritance is ruled by the chromosome. Well, there are organelles that are found both in animal and plant cells. Okay? Some of them are listed there, and we are going to speak about each one. Endoplasmic reticulum is a network of membranes, of tubules of membranes that there are two types of this reticulum. The rough endoplasmic reticulum is rough because it has ribosomes. I'm going to tell about the ribosomes in a moment, attached to its surface. Yes, and we have the smooth endoplasmic reticulum that has no ribosomes.
Okay.
Yes, it's the transport system of the cell. Thinking of our citizen. Yes? The ribosomes, the one that were attached in the other slide, is the factory of the cell, because in this organelle all the proteins are built. Yes? It's a little ribosome that a little organelle that it can be attached to the endoplasmic reticulum or individually swimming in the cytoplasm.
That's inside the cell.
Inside the cell, all of these organelles are parts of the cell to constitute one cell that works as a city, as I told you at the beginning. The Golgi apparatus, or the Golgi body, it's a group of sacs, of flattened sacs,
Okay.
that acts as a package delivery company in the cell. It's like our DHL. Okay. Is it clear for you?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. There are other organelles common from plant and animal cells. It is a lysosome. The lysosome is like a waste treating station in the cell, because it contains digestive enzymes in its interior, and these enzymes can digest food or even take out a worn out organelle. It is also called as suicide sac, the lysosomes.
This is our intestine.
More or less, if we take it like an analogy, it can be thought as that.
Why do they call it suicide?
Suicide sac?
So-
Because if one organelle, there are Golgi body, it's worn out, and the cell have to manufacture another. The worn out is dissolved by the enzymes that got in the lysosome.
Okay.
The mitochondria, it's a bean-shaped organelle with two membranes. The inner membrane is a little bit flip or fold.
Oh.
Yes, it is fold. See, this is the house power of the cell, because mitochondria takes out the energy from food in order to get this energy for all the activities for the cell.
Okay.
The vacuoles are other of the common organelles, and they are a little compartment round by a membrane that can hold water, sugar, proteins, whatever it takes. More things that the cell are going to use by itself, or that it is going to export to another place.
All the cells are composed by the same element.
Most of the cells. We are talking about these that are shared between animal cells and plant cells. We are going to talk about some organelles that are only present in animals and some only present in plants. Animal cell organelles not found in plant cells are the flagellum and the cilia. Yes, only are in cell. What cell in the human beings do you know that have that has the cilia or flagella. They are thought to, their main function is movement. Movement for move the environment or move the cell itself. Do you remember one human cell that got a flagella? Sperm got a flagella. And in all our respiratory epithelium, we have cilia that give us protection. And here are 3 organelles that are only found in plant cells: the cell wall, the plastids, and the central vacuole. The cell wall is a rigid structure made of cellulose, as you told me on the paper sheet, and it is after the plasma membrane. It is rigid, it protects the cells, and it is what gives the cell his box shape. Other organelles that only are in plant cells are the plastids. And the more important plastids for us are the chloroplasts, because they got the chlorophyll that it is used in the photosynthesis. It's a micrography of chloroplasts, and it's a group. And the last organelle that is only found in plant cells are the vacuole. It is important because it occupies the most volume of the cell in the plant cells. It is full of water. It's what we see in the plants. Plants that it is swallowed. Swollen. It is full of water. When it comes dehydrated, it lose